Thank God it's Friday. Welcome back to the show, everybody. I'm your host, Ray Petree, and this is Petree's Pit, the best wrestling podcast in the galaxy. I'm joined again by my co host, my tag team partner, the Arn Anderson and my Tully Blanchard, JDOGG, Jordan. How's it going, brother?
Going good, man. Going good. Yeah, ready for this. Excited for this episode. It's gonna be fun.
Um, we're in that time of the year, that Thanksgiving season. A lot of people think about turkey, mashed potatoes, getting together with the family and football. Jordan and I, we think about Survivor Series, one of the big four pay-per-views of the WWE calendar year. But unlike some of the other shows, SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, Survivor Series is kind of an ambiguous thing. Different years, the main events are different, the themes are different, but at the root of it is a Survivor Series match, a 4-on-4 or a 5-on-5 typically match. Um, for people our age, it's usually Team Raw versus Team SmackDown. In the past, the teams were more themed around feuds, but typically it's a 10-man tag team match where people get eliminated throughout the match, and the winners are the survivors, typically, right? You know, Recently it's been war games, um, but we're not going to talk about that today. What we want to do is have some fun today. Next week we'll talk about Survivor Series. There's a few more shows left before we really seal the deal on what's going to happen in war games. Um, this week we're going to do an all-time fantasy Survivor Series draft. Each of us are going to draft 5-man teams, and you guys are going to vote on what team is better. Simple as that. In the comments of this video. Um, these are the kind of things Jordan and I do when we're together. Have a beer and draft wrestling teams. This is, I think this is going to be fun. What do you think, Jordan?
Oh yeah, man. Anytime you get to just kind of pick your favorite superstars, put them up against each other, see who would win. Anytime you can do that, it's always fun. Then get to show it to people, and they can give their opinions on which team they think is better. People they would have picked and things of that nature. So yeah, this be fun. This be good.
Doing past or present, they can, as long as they were employed by the WWE, they are eligible for this list. We're playing pretty fast and loose with the terms here. But first, before we get into it, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and please leave us a comment on what you think about our list or really anything regarding pro wrestling. We love seeing engagement from the audience, and we love answering your questions, your comments, even responding to your criticism. Uh, Me in particular, I love that. So yeah, please leave us a comment and drop us a like, subscribe to the channel. Follow us on Twitter. Both of our handles are below. And in my case, follow me on Blue Sky, the premier wrestling social media platform. Anyways, now moving on to the draft. Jordan's going to go first. Flipped a coin before we began filming, and I lost. So Jordan's going to go first. 1 minute on the clock for each pick. We both have prepared draft boards, notes, um, and this is going to be pretty heated because I like winning and I hate to lose. So, like I said, leave us a comment which team you think is better. Um, and remember, this is a 5-on-5 traditional Survivor Series match, not war games. This is going to be, guys get eliminated one by one. So, keep that in mind when you're thinking about which team would work better, which team would be more fun to watch, more exciting, and who you think would be booked to win. So, Jordan, I'll let you take it away, brother.
All right. So it's tough. First pick, always a tough one. A lot of guys to choose from, but I am going to go with one of my all-time favorites, guy who's considered by a lot of people one of the greatest WWE superstars of all time. Uh, Definitely one of the most exciting guys to watch uh, back in the Attitude Era. So I am going to go with Stone Cold Steve Austin. Obviously, what can you really say? I mean, he was one of the biggest superstars of that time period. You know, 6-time WWE champion, 2-time IC champion. He's the only 3-time Royal Rumble winner. Um, every week you never knew what was going to happen with him, going out there causing chaos. And him on a team, don't know how that's going to work out. You know, he's always, his motto DTA, don't trust anybody. Um, so him on a team, could be a little dicey, but when you have that kind of star power on a team, things just tend to work out. So I'm going to go. My first pick is Stone Cold.
There was no doubt in my mind that Jordan was going to take the Texas rattlesnake with the first pick. That is the man for Halloween at my Halloween party. Um, Not shocking there. Have to match someone of Stone Cold Steve Austin's impeccable drawing power, someone who's equal in terms of stardom. Um, and I also can't let Jordan take too many great guys the fans are going to love. So who else can I take than The Rock, Dwayne Johnson? Um, Part and parcel to Stone Cold Steve Austin. These two are inextricably tied together. An 8-time WWE champion, multiple-time IC champion, 5-time tag team champion. I think they're all with Mick Foley probably. 2000 Royal Rumble winner, and the guy who beat Stone Cold Steve Austin at the 2001 Survivor Series, Team WWF versus Team Alliance. I think this is a good pick.
Yeah, very solid pick. Obviously, that kind of goes hand in hand. Stone Cold and The Rock, one of the greatest rivalries of a generation, one of the greatest rivalries of all time. Definitely very solid pick. So Rock gone. Figure it out on this. It's tough because a lot of guys Stone Cold feuded with left I could pick from, but I'm gonna go with the man who I actually am representing right here on my T-shirt. The best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. Bret the Hitman Hart. Obviously, you know, legend in the ring, one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. Former 5-time WWE champion, 2-time IC champ. You know, 2-time tag champion with the Hart Foundation. Um, just overall, is a tremendous, tremendous wrestler. Um, and, a former rival of Stone Cold's. So, those two know each other pretty well. I think, on a team, obviously Stone Cold, he's more of a brawler. Even though he can, obviously great wrestler, but he's more of a brawler. Bret can get in there, more really good technical wrestler, add a different element to the team. So I'm going with Bret.
The Hitman at number 2. Bret Hart, one of the kind of poster boys of the Survivor Series. Obviously, the Montreal Screwjob um, versus Shawn Michaels, probably the most famous or infamous moment in Survivor Series history. And you're going to get screwed again, Jordan. And so is Bret Hart. My number 2 pick, the man, the nature boy, Ric Flair.
Rick?
The leader of the Four Horsemen, a 2-time WWE champion, member of Evolution. Obviously, most of his success was found in the NWA and WCW, but he is a Royal Rumble winner. He is a 2-time WWE champion, and an invaluable member of my team, someone to pair alongside The Rock. We have great chemistry, pageantry, pomp and circumstance, and 2 fantastic in-ring workers. I hand it over to you, Jordan.
Okay, all right. So good pick there. Obviously with Rick, now with The Rock, two very flamboyant personalities. Uh, but personality is not going to win you in this Survivor Series match. You got to be able to get down in the ring. And my next guy, another unbelievable wrestler, guy who will just destroy you on the mat. I'm going to go with the Olympic gold medalist, intensity, integrity, intelligence, Mr. Kurt Angle. Now my team, we got Brett and got Kurt. Might not have huge personalities like The Rock and Ric Flair, but they are going to just throw them around on the mat, make their life miserable. Got the ankle lock, got the sharpshooter. Yeah, it's going to be tough for your boys here. They're not going to be able to talk their way out into winning this match.
The problem with Kurt Angle is that Apex Kurt Angle, Perk Angle was in TNA. That 07, 08 Angle, he's not on the board. What do you get? Like 05, you get the wrestling machine, you get ECW.
Yeah, man, you get the wrestling machine, you get earlier versions of Perk Angle. That was still a dominant Kurt Angle. I mean, you saw how it was. I'm still getting a version of Perk Angle in there. It's not like everything great he ever did was in TNA. I'm still getting a dominant wrestler. And all you have to do is just, you can watch his matches when he was world heavyweight champion. I mean, the wrestling machine, that's the early version of it.
Yeah. Kurt Angle, both Jordan and I, one of Jordan and I's favorite wrestlers, probably the best wrestler of the 2000s, of that decade, I mean, in particular. It's a great choice, my friend. The three eyes, that's hilarious. Um, I mean, oh man. Well, I'm gonna stick in the lane of personalities. We're we're delivering great promos week after week in the build to this pay-per-view. I'm gonna take Randy Savage, the Macho Man, another one of my favorite wrestlers. A guy who has star power in spades. He's got some history with Rick, not quite with The Rock, but we're meeting eras here. And I'm just a huge Randy Savage fan. Jordan knows it. He's one of the most entertaining guys of all time. A guy who I really gravitate to a lot, and he's going to be a big help on this team. And when he was young, he was a really great worker, a very underrated worker. Not quite like Kurt Angle or Bret Hart, but very good nonetheless. Um, and I want to bring star power. I got to match the in-ring technicians Jordan has with raw star power. So I'm gonna take the Macho Man.
All right, yeah, very, very solid pick. Yeah, definitely. The promos are definitely going to be hard to match up for with my team. Uh, got some of the best talkers of all time on your team. Um, but again, once things get in the ring, we're going to own it. And for my next guy, I'm going to pick a guy who is obviously he's a legend in the WWE, one of the most recognizable WWE guys of all time, a man who actually debuted at the Survivor Series, a man who went 21-0 at WrestleMania, legend of legends, the Dead Man, the Undertaker. Cause we gotta have, again, the promos. We're not gonna probably win there, but it ain't about winning the promos. It's about winning in the ring. The Undertaker, one of the best of all time, has wrestled. I mean, everybody you could possibly wrestle WWE after being there for what 3 decades. Um, yeah, just a legend, and also one of the most well-respected wrestlers in that company. So, we got kind of a loose cannon with Stone Cold, but we got Undertaker. level-headed, calm, and can kind of settle things down, get the team going right, and yeah. So I'm going with the Phenom.
The Undertaker, not only 21 and 0 at WrestleMania, had the streak, not only a four-time WWE champion, three-time world heavyweight champion, but has the most wins in Survivor Series history. 13. And like you said, he debuted at Survivor Series. It's kind of his show almost. It feels like it's a great pick. I was a big Undertaker fan, but I have to match the Undertaker. I have to match Bret Hart, Kurt Angle, these great in-ring workers. I have the personalities. I have the guys who can talk. Now I need someone who can work. So I have to take the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, one of my favorite guys in the ring growing up, an electrifying performer, someone who can match Kurt Angle, Bret Hart, someone who went toe to toe with The Undertaker time after time, someone who main evented WrestleMania with Steve Austin. I think this is a great pick. Hard to believe he fell so far down this list, but Shawn Michaels, we're bringing sweet chin music to the show.
Yeah, definitely apropos that he's on the opposite team of Bret Hart, of Taker, guys. He's gone toe to toe with Kurt Angle as well, Stone Cold. He's got history with all four of my guys. Um, and yeah, obviously one of the greatest of all time in the ring, including very notable Survivor Series matches when he was almost the sole survivor. And I believe it was 2003 when he eliminated. It was 3-on-1. Came back, almost won that match. Um, when it was Stone Cold versus Eric Bischoff's team. So um, very, very, very good pick. Definitely helps with the in ring against some of my guys. Um, but yeah, so Shawn Michaels, good pick. So now for my fifth member of the team, it's a tough pick. Got a lot of great wrestling ability on my team. Um, got a lot of hard hitting talent. Uh, so I figure I could either double down, go for another in ring guy, or I could get a guy who's a little more of a talker. Can kind of go back and forth with some of the guys on your squad. And I figure that to hell with it. I'm just going to double down. I'm going for dominance in the ring, pure, going with power, pure wrestling ability. I'm going to go with the beast incarnate, Brock Lesnar.
Wow.
So, and hell, at this point, the last few years, Brock's shown a little more personality. He's shown he can talk a little bit, and not having Paul Heyman with him. So yeah, I'm gonna go with that. Again, just adding pure wrestling ability, pure dominance. Brock, obviously, 7-time champion, WWE champion, uh, former UFC champion. Just all around, just beast. Has competed with anybody and everybody, and I mean, come on, you got Brock Lesnar versus going against Ric Flair, going against The Rock, Randy Savage. He'll squash all those guys. Squash all those guys, man. Just a beast incarnate for a reason.
Hmm.
So yeah, I'm going with the beast incarnate, Brock Lesnar.
Okay. Um, Steve Austin, Bret Hart, Kurt Angle, The Undertaker, and Brock Lesnar. You have a lot of dominant guys in the ring. Um, Brock is going to be a hard guy to eliminate in this kind of competition. At this fifth pick, I'm the last pick. There's lots of guys I could pick here. Maybe an Eddie Guerrero and AJ Styles, somebody who could really electrify in the ring, bring some technical expertise that I don't have yet. I could take someone like CM Punk, who is probably my favorite wrestler ever. Um, when I went into this, I thought Rey Mysterio would be a great last guy to have, bring energy. Um, into the ring. I could take Cody Rhodes, the current WWE Undisputed Universal Champion, someone who beat Brock Lesnar. Um, and the last two guys that really come to mind, I could take Hulk Hogan, probably the greatest superstar in WWF history. Certainly one of them. Was unbeatable for a period of time in the '80s. Um, or I could take my number five pick. Uh, he was the man when we were growing up. He's our Hulk Hogan, John Cena, baby. Uh,
Man.
Super Cena. I mean, I'm getting him in his prime, unbeatable. Brock Lesnar came back from the UFC in 2012, Extreme Rules. Who beat him? John Cena, baby.
Yeah, after you guys ass whooped for most of the match.
Yeah, well, that happens, but that's okay. That's okay because he still won. I was really, it was between John Cena and Roman Reigns. It was honestly an audible there. I could have maybe taken the tribal chief, but John Cena in his prime, tough to beat at a big pay per view event. This is a main event match if there ever were one. And it's going to be hard to take out Cena. You just look at the combined number of titles I have on my team: 16 time from Ric Flair, 16 time from John Cena. Rock, Randy Savage, Shawn Michaels. The hardware is there. The big match experience is there. These guys can all pull their weight on the mic. They're going to carry this build. All you have is Stone Cold Steve Austin, who can really cut a promo.
That's all right, man. I don't need my guys to be talking everything because when we get in the ring, we're not talking to a win. We're getting in the ring and we're wrestling. And I got some of the greatest wrestlers of all time: Kurt Angle, Bret Hart, The Undertaker, Prestige that has. Stone Cold Steve Austin can go in there and just raise hell. Can do whatever. Brock Lesnar is just a force. So yeah, I mean, you guys can talk, and I'm glad they can talk because they can beg for mercy when my team's done whooping their ass. But yeah, I mean, you got some decent guys. But what's Ric Flair going to do against Brock Lesnar? What's Ric Flair going to do against Kurt Angle? They're gonna throw him around, man. Throw him around like a rag doll. Brock Lesnar, he's already beaten The Rock. Stone Cold beat The Rock multiple times. Yeah, you got Super Cena, but what does that really mean? I mean, studio, it's nothing.
Super Cena means we're kicking out of everything. It means you have no chance. Um, and just doing the math here real quick. 45 world championships on my team. 45 world
Yeah.
championships.
Anybody, I don't care about world championships. We're not wrestling for a world championship. This is a Survivor Series elimination match. One match. We ain't talking about world titles. Talking about who's going to get in there and who's going to win in the ring. And that's my team, hands down.
I don't know, man. I have Shawn Michaels, one of the best workers in the ring of all time. Ric Flair, arguably the best all-around wrestler of all time. John Cena, one of the best WWE performers ever. One of the most dominant performers at his apex that there's ever been. A guy who was so difficult to beat in a main event show. Um, and then I have Randy Savage, who not only a phenomenal performer, but crafty, willing to cheat, very creative, will do what it takes. And, all of these guys, uh, maybe barring Cena, were great tag team wrestlers. All these guys work well with others. The Rock, 5-time world tag team champion. Ric Flair, great tag team champion in the late '70s with Greg Valentine. Randy Savage, his work with Hulk Hogan and the Mega Powers. Shawn Michaels with the Rockers, with D-Generation X. All these guys are great at using tandem offense. I'll be fine. I'll be okay. We're gonna tag in and out. We're gonna use some combined moves. stick and move. Brock Lesnar, he's been beaten before. The blueprint's out. It's okay. I like what I have here. Plus, your team, you Taker and Lesnar, they don't like each other. Stone Cold Steve Austin, Bret Hart, they don't like each other. Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar, they don't like each other. These guys were enemies. I got 5 guys who more or less are going to work well together.
You talking about Cena and The Rock hated each other before. Shawn Michaels retired Ric Flair. Shawn Michaels and John Cena don't like each other. Shawn Michaels and The Rock definitely don't like each other.
That's behind the scenes.
What
That's
the hell are you
about
talking about? Acting like my team's the only team that has conflict. I mean, most of these Survivor Series matches, the guys who are on these teams usually have conflicts with each other at some point. But we're not talking about being best friends after the show's over, going out getting a beer. We're talking about getting in the ring and winning. And that's what my team is going to do. Is my team wants to do is to win.
Well, my closing argument, I have the star power. It's going to be tough to beat. Tremendous star power from these guys. Championship aura. You see these guys walking down to the ring, it's going to be hard to beat all of them. This is a collection of talent that is going to be impossible to defeat.
Well, definitely not impossible because they're going to get beat. I mean, you got Brock Lesnar, The Undertaker coming at you, two giant guys, two huge forces within WWE history. Then you got Kurt Angle, who we all know what Kurt Angle could do on the mat. You know, I mean, he won an Olympic gold medal with a broken freaking neck. This guy, he can do anything. And then Bret Hart, obviously another great technical wrestler on the mat, and he gets to beat up Shawn Michaels. So that's going to give him extra motivation right there. And then my guy Stone Cold Steve Austin going to go raise hell, flip some people off. You got him versus Cena, two different top guys from the two different generations. So yeah, I mean, I don't need to give a big speech on how my team's better. You can look at them. Just look at that collection of power, of wrestling ability, put all that together, and you look at your team, and they're going to mop the floor with them. It's not even going to be close.
Well, this is where we leave it to the fans. Just to reiterate, Team Ray, The Rock, Ric Flair, Randy Savage, Shawn Michaels, John Cena versus Team Jordan, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Hitman Bret Hart, Kurt Angle, The Undertaker, and the Beast Incarnate himself, Brock Lesnar. 5-on-5 traditional Survivor Series match. We leave it to the fans. Leave us a comment which team you think is better, which team you think would win. On a scale of 1 to 10, how excited would you be to see this match? And lastly, who did we omit from our teams that you think should have been involved in this? Did we pick 10 of the best or the 10 best WWF guys, or were some people left out? I'm surprised neither of us took Andre the Giant. He would have been great
Yeah,
for this.
yeah,
Tough guy to eliminate.
yeah. I mean, you talk about a dominant force. I mean, he was the dominant force for many, many years. I think for me, I was a little bit shocked that neither of us picked Roman. I
Yeah,
mean, especially most recently he was the fourth longest reigning WWE champion in the company's history. And we talk about dominance. I mean, look at all the guys that he beat. I'm not going to go through all the lists, but just great wrestlers that he beat. And so yeah, that's probably I was shocked that neither of us picked Roman, and I definitely considered him a few times.
yeah.
Um, going with the theme of my guys being just dominant forces with power and athletic ability. But yeah, that's when I was a little surprised didn't get picked. But again, it just kind of goes to show, only picking 5 guys for your team, just the talent that WWE's had over the years. Definitely you're gonna omit some people. But yeah, I'm interested to see anybody else what they think about who wasn't selected if they would have picked somebody over somebody else. Yeah, definitely comment and let us know. Let us know what you think.
Absolutely. We're going to be sharing this as well with a group on Facebook called Kayfabe Bracket. These guys, it's a group of several hundred people. All they do is do wrestling polls and vote. We're going to have the teams listed there for them to select as well to help out with the voting process. And we'll let you know who won next week. I think we'll probably cut off the voting next Thursday, I'd imagine. And then, when we record next Friday, we'll announce who won. Um, so once again, please leave a comment. Let us know who you think won. Next week, we're going to do a Survivor Series preview for that pay-per-view. We're really excited for the War Games matches, particularly the men's. I think next week we'll probably have a conversation about our thoughts on the women's War Games match because I'm not thrilled with how it's been hastily booked. But anyways, more to come next week on that. We'll have a full in-depth conversation about the pay-per-view event. Still have, I guess, two SmackDowns and a Raw left before really everything gets ironed out. But yeah, I think this is probably going to be something of a tradition every November for us to do on the podcast. I hope, going forward, we'll find different ways to kind of skew this draft format. This was a lot of fun. And like we said, this is the kind of stuff that we do when we're, in the living room watching wrestling, shooting shit, talking about, who do we want on our team if we were doing an all-time draft or, you know, this kind of thing. So we hope you guys enjoyed it. Once again, please like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment about this or really anything. If you guys have a comment about just anything regarding pro wrestling, we would be happy to answer it on the show. Apropos of nothing, it does not have anything to do with the topic at hand. Uh, we love engaging with the audience, so thank you so much for watching. Happy Friday, everyone, and talk to him, Jordan.
Stop, guys. Out.